guys, John Olson here from Plus One Daily, and thank you very much once again for hanging out with me for a few minutes today as we dive deep into the world of books. We dive deep into the world of personal development. We dive deep into the world of success. And we dive deep into training and teaching people how to become better at sunset than they were at sunrise. So, if you were reading the blog earlier this week, you'll know that I'm into Ryan Holiday's new book called Perennial Seller. It's a fantastic book. I'm a big fan of Ryan Holiday's. Obstacles Away is probably one of the best books I've ever read in the past few years. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Anytime he puts a book out, it's definitely a good read. So I'm deep into Perennial Seller. And the general idea behind Perennial Seller is not to be a flash in the pan. It's to be as viable in 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years from now that you are today. Just have something that stays the course. Having something that is of great value to your customers, to your fans, to your readers, and have it be just as important and just as relevant in 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now as it is today. So I'm going to frame this in a few points that he talked about in a little bit of the book, but there was a point that I wanted to really address, and it's kind of funny because he actually quoted one of the hottest rappers out right now. And if you're not a fan of hip-hop music, just please bear with me as I go through the example so you understand. Don't worry, I'm not going to start talking about how great hip-hop is. Don't worry. But he quotes Drake, who is from my hometown of Toronto, Ontario. And Drake actually said this on one of his songs. He said, "I'm tired of hearing about who you are checking for now. Just give it time. We'll see who's still around a decade from now." What is he, and how does this translate into success? How does this translate into personal development? Well, if you read this, you got to understand the industry that he's in and the industry that we're all in. He's in an industry of one-hit wonders. He's in an industry of people that are really successful for a month and then just fall off and right off into the sunset in 6 months from now. Like you hear them, they have a good album, and then they disappear. That's his industry. So he's saying he's tired of hearing about what is the hot thing of the day. Let's see who's here in 10 years from now. That's a huge nugget. How do you take that and put it into a business model for yourself in personal development? Well, this is the lesson that Ryan starts teaching in this book, as he says, you gotta think long term. You can't necessarily jump on trends. It's fine to jump on trends and stuff, but don't rely on it. Don't rely on what's hot today. You want to have something that stays the course. You want to have something with staying power. And he mentions here, and he goes in, he says, customers have so much choice. They tend to choose what appears to have momentum, and people choose what other people are choosing. So lots of times people go to the hot thing, right? That's where the attention goes. Now, how do you stay relevant? Well, you keep being the hot thing. You keep moving. You keep having attention at you. You keep having passion behind what you're doing so that people they're attracted to that. That's how you stay the course. That's how you are relevant in 10 years from now, is that you're consistently doing things. You're consistently in front of people because people are attracted to momentum and they're attracted to what other people are attracted to. It's a really weird thing, but it's the truth. Think about it. Think about right now. This is 2017. Like, the hot thing of the day right now is Bitcoin. Rightfully so. Listen, we me and my company were into Bitcoin years and years and years ago, so we understand the potential of it. But look no one was talking about Bitcoin 2 or 3 years ago. Well, some of us were, but the vast majority of people were putting their nose up. Now everybody and their mother seems to be promoting some kind of Bitcoin opportunity. Isn't that remarkable? Because it's the hot thing right now, and everybody seems to be doing it, so the momentum is going, it's raising the price of a Bitcoin. So that's just an example, but you can see how that works in business. You see how the more action you're taking, the more momentum you have, the more eyeballs will start focusing on you. The more you will start attracting people that want to take action on what you're training and teaching. So that's how you stay relevant year in, year out for 10 years from now. And fun fact, going back to the Drake example, I think he released his first studio album like almost 10 years ago, 8 years ago or something like that. So he's had staying power. He's remained relevant for almost a decade by continuing to do stuff. And his product that he puts out, if you're a fan of his music, of course, I think it's really good. So, a lot of people agree with me. So, the more attention that he's getting or your business is getting, the more momentum will grow, the more people will want to be around that. So it's a huge nugget. You got to remember that customers have 1,000,001 choices out there. Their attention span is that of a goldfish. It's being pulled, their attention, it's being pulled on all angles, social media, television, billboards, you name it. How do you stay the course so that you become top of mind day in and day out, month after month, year after year? You do it with some passion. You do it with getting pumped up about what you're doing. You do it by, yes, having a good product. I mean, that should come without saying. You need to have a good product or service, but getting fired up about it. Getting fired up about what you're doing, what you're putting out in the market. And the more you do that, the more momentum will grow, the more people will be paying attention to you for years to come. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me on Plus One Daily. Be good to each other. Remember, be better at sunset than you were at sunrise each and every day. Toodles.